Greetings and welcome to Pauly Sci-Fi, the real deal science fiction podcast where we discuss all things science fiction, science fact, technology, and where it all comes together. On the show today, we're discussing Gotham Season 4, the new frontier of power generation, and education. More importantly, the educators. Remember to leave a review on iTunes or whatever platform you may be using. Also, join in on the conversation. Follow the show on Twitter or Facebook, or go to paulyscifi.com. That's Pauly, SCIFI.com, and post your thoughts on the feed in the podcast section. Season 4 of Gotham has been a turning point for the series, which revolves more around villains than heroes. We have really gotten to know the characters, who are far more complex than have been shown in previous iterations of the Tales of the Dark Knight. The performances are some of the best on either the big screen or the small. The idea of a series or movie being driven by villains is not new, but Gotham has truly made it a work of art. The Penguin, Riddler, and Joker are, of course, three of my favorite villains, though not for their recognizability, but for the actors portraying them. There have been many memorable villains over the years, but I can't remember such a quantity of greats. Even down to the droll and chronically depressed Mr. Freeze, these actors are some of the best on TV. Much of the credit has to go to the director, though, Ben McKenzie. If you've read anything about Hollywood, then you have an inkling of an understanding of the difficulty of getting a bunch of actors in a room to agree on anything. Mackenzie is able to get great work from the cast, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with mutual respect. He has my vote, if I had a vote, for an Emmy. The vision he is bringing us week in and week out is nothing short of DC and Gotham City distilled into the darkness, cruelty, hope, and change which lies at the heart of it. This season, we're seeing the birth of Batman as the young Bruce Wayne is wrestling with his demons. There have been twists and turns as Penguin has finally found some semblance of normalcy, if it can be called that. After his stint in Arkham, he seems to be finding friends. Perhaps allies is the better word. What I love about this show, and love is not too strong of a word, is watching the heroes become the villains, and the villains become the heroes. I never thought the day would come when I would be rooting for the Riddler to do away with the meddlesome Edward Nygma, but here we are. If you have not seen Gotham yet, then you are really missing out on some great storytelling and imagery, which is amazing, but the cast is what really brings Gotham to life. When this season is over, I know I will be waiting most impatiently for the next. What's going to be the next revolution in power generation? It has been too long a wait as our world has been burning fossil fuels, destroying our environment in the process. Humanity's hope lies in finding a new way to generate the electricity we have come to rely on. The problem is the dug-in mentality of the fossil fuel industry. When there is any new technology which could possibly break the industry's stranglehold on the populace, then they pull out all the stops to subvert and destroy any said technology which could overshadow the use of fossil fuels. There have been inventions which have been stifled, inventors threatened with violence, perhaps worse. And as we see in Florida, legislation has been passed, more than likely through bribes, to kill the solar industry. Regardless, we need to find new ways of generating energy. Nuclear power has been a boon to the power supply chain, and it has been proven. Nuclear power is dangerous, but it seems that any process of power generation has its dangers. The new energy revolution may be on the horizon with fusion technology, There are companies working on this technology now, and they have come a long way since its inception. Some of the first fission reactors are online, and their promise has not been overstated. The heat created by these systems, though, is beyond comprehension for the average person like myself, and can be likened to the surface or even the core of the sun. I see this as an advance, but there are dangers involved in the process. What if this artificial sun breaks containment? What kind of devastation could it cause? We won't find out for certain until it happens, and then it will be too late. The fear of imagined consequences should not be a reason to shy away from discovery and the benefits. Though the benefits may not outweigh the dangers, we must pursue this path with as much vigor as we did the space race. Our time is running out, and we need to become better stewards of our planet, because humankind are the rulers of this world. It's time we start acting like it. If there is one thing which will propel mankind to the future we desire, it would have to be knowledge. Without knowing how to create those things which will lead us from science fiction to science fact, then all of the visions we have been gifted with are nothing more than wishful thinking. We have a limited resource which has been too long overlooked, and they are the educators we have put in charge of passing our considerable advances to the next generation. They have the weight of the world on their shoulders, though some may not know it or appreciate the fact. I think most do. The next Einstein, Hawking, or Oppenheimer are sitting at their desks, learning the information which will propel us into the unknown reaches of the universe. In the US, we are seeing an age-old battle being fought again, and with good cause. Those who have been put in charge of our most valuable resource have been put in a corner. Most teachers I have spoken with see their job as more than a paycheck and really want to make the world a better place, and I applaud them for that. The success of the teacher strike in Maryland has given way to teachers in Oklahoma taking to the picket line, and seemingly have won. Having lived in Oklahoma for a time, I saw the conditions in public education up close, and it's past time for a change. The wages for teachers in Oklahoma are among the lowest in the nation. Most educators have to have a part-time job to get by, which, to my eyes, is unfair at best. Teachers the world over should be given the resources needed to educate our children, and they should not have to worry about where their mortgage payment is coming from, or if they can afford to get that cup of coffee before class. Instead of our government officials treating our educators like freeloaders, we need a sea change in the way we look at teachers. They are the guardians of our collective future, and it's time we begin treating them with the respect they have earned, the respect they deserve. Thank you for listening, and if you want to get in on the conversation, go to paulyscifi.com. That's Pauly,
Hey, Pauly.
SciFi.com, and post your thoughts on the feed in the podcast section. This is Pauly Sci-Fi bidding you an amazing today and even brighter tomorrow.